Welcome everybody to the March episode of All About the Girls with Kat Lutze, owner, founder of Alley Cat's Curiosity Shop. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here. I have watched your show, watched everything you've done, and I'm excited to be a part of it today.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you as well. I love Alley Cats. I think I was introduced to you originally through our friend and January's episode, Tevlin Schwer.
Yes.
And then it just became obsessed with what you do, how you guys do it. So we'll dive into all of that. Of course, we'll talk all things Alley Cats. We'll talk all things your business and women in business. I think we really want to touch on today. But for those that don't know you yet, just introduce yourself, kind of who you are beyond the job title.
Beyond the job title. Okay. Well, that's funny you mentioned that because, being Alley Cat or just Cat of Alley Cats has certainly been my role since I started the business in 2014. Yeah. But before then, I was all about theater. I did costumes and I was on the stage. I grew up here in Valpo and I was in many shows at Chicago Street Theater, was at Chesterton High School and was in lots of shows there. And then I went off to Minneapolis to go do theater and film is what I actually intended to go into. And I ended up doing an arts administration degree up there and realized, I don't want to just be an actor or a director. I want to run a theater.
Okay.
And so
you're more in the process of it.
So more of that kind of the artistic director, a little more influencing the community and things like that, the productions that go on. And I ended up moving back here to Valpo to be with my family. And what happened was there was this lampshade factory that was going out of business. And at the time I was doing costumes and thinking, I'll probably end up in Chicago doing theater or something.
Right. But NWI has a decent theater scene, but probably not as big as something like Chicago, which is where you would initially just want to be.
Exactly. And so I was just kind of doing little side hustles, cobbling jobs together while I was figuring out what I wanted to do. And this friend messaged me and said, hey, a lampshade factory is going out of business. They have all this fabric and trim. It's stunning stuff. You should come down here and buy stuff for costumes. And so I went down there and the person who was selling it, I said, well, how much if I just took everything? And this was a Tuesday afternoon. And she said, well, if you can get everything out of here, this warehouse, by Thursday afternoon, I'll take your offer. And I offered her $1,000 and she took it. And I hired some movers. We got a truck. We moved it all into a storage unit. But what I didn't realize is that I also got 929 lampshades. I had 30 some lamps, the finials, the fixtures, everything had to be cleared out of this warehouse.
In the building, you got to take it all.
I took it all.
But you had to get it all out.
Yes. Now you say got to. Really, it was more of a have to.
Also,
at that point.
Part of the payment was the work behind all of this.
Exactly.
And you probably had to rent a dumpster, I would assume, and all this stuff.
Yeah, all of that, but managed to do it, moved everything over. And my parents were like, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'll sell it and make my money back.
Yeah. Because if you got the down payment over time, you could sell it all and probably make good money.
Exactly.
As long as you're okay with the down payment.
Right. And so I did. I had that $1,000 and I wrote that check and my parents were like, oh, what are you doing? Because I was, fresh out of college at that point.
So I didn't actually have the $1,000, even though you had
money to just be spending like that. But I did. I ended up selling off those lampshades to Bailey's, actually.
Okay. Out by me. Shout out.
Yeah. Call out to them. Bailey's helped me out. That's where Alley Cat started because I sold them to them. And
which is a brilliant idea. So those that don't know, Bailey's is out by where I live in North Judson, and it's not a resale. It's like a warehouse sale place where they do like semi trucks that maybe have gotten in an accident and can't be technically sold as normal.
Right.
They'll take their product and resell it. They sell furniture, cabinets, just like it's a warehouse that sells darn near everything.
Yes.
And I never would have thought about this and they're right down the street from me, but like what a great, like they're all new products.
Yeah.
They just need to be sold.
Exactly. And that was exactly how it happened. I called and talked to Mark Bailey and he said, oh yeah. And he gave me $1.25 per lampshade, but there were 929 lampshades. So just there, I made that money back.
I love it.
And I remember walking from the truck that day because I had the truck of lampshades. I'm like, be cool, be cool, be cool until I got in the truck bed.
Pull out of here and cash this check. Be chill.
Yes. And then it was, dancing in the truck, being like, yeah, I made my money. And yes. And then I still had everything else. So then I was selling things on eBay. I took the profits from that and I bought out a craft store. And then I took the profits from that and then I went to auctions and just kept buying and selling. And this was out of my living room. So I had a storage unit where I was selling things out of, but everything was in my living room in a little apartment on Lincoln Way. There's a picture that has all the lampshades in that apartment as I was listing them online, the ones that I didn't sell to Bailey's.
Okay.
And that's how it started. And so I went from my living room to then getting an office, to then getting a warehouse, to then getting the storefront at 908 right by Philby's over in Roosevelt. And then in 2018 was able to purchase the building we're in now. And that's how it's grown. Yeah. Yeah.
It's still on Roosevelt.
It is still on Roosevelt.
Just further down.
Yes. Right across from TJ Middle School.
Yeah. Which is a great location. And it's humongous.
It's humongous. It was great when I was doing furniture at that time because I was buying a lot of furniture and reselling it. Now that's changed a little bit, but it enabled us to open up our membership program, which is really the heart of what we do now.
Yeah, it's very different. So you started as really a resale shop.
Yes.
And now talk a little bit about what that's kind of transformed into in 2026.
Yeah. So completely different. When you look back on pictures of my sister and I hauling out furniture in a garage on Bond Street, which is how we started. It's very different to now when we open the doors.
It absolutely is. This is great.
And has a line of customers waiting to come into a very nice curated store. But the reason that came about is because we started opening the program to what we call our membership program. So it's different than a rental where you just rent a booth and you put things in it. We have a full membership program where our goal is to work with small businesses that want to grow, whether it's just a little side hustle where, I just want to make some extra income so I can go and do things with my family, or I want to start my business because I want to have my own store someday, which we've had a couple people get to do, which is really exciting.
Success stories.
But yeah, we work with people who want to grow their businesses. So it's not just, here's a space to put your merchandise and we'll sell it for you. It's a mentorship program. It's business. We help with branding, with marketing, all of those kinds of things, and really helping people with their goals, which is my favorite part.
Absolutely. For sure. Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah.
And that's probably a wide misconception or unknown, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably. Like people don't know that piece of it.
Yeah. I think it's becoming a little more obvious as we've adjusted kind of how the shop works. So when you walk in, you do start to see that there's a little more booths. We try to create more signage, more, if you like this product, go check out their website.
Kind of pointing to the businesses themselves within that space.
Yes.
Super smart.
So we've developed that we are a shop of shops. We have over 45 local shops all within our one. And it's so exciting because my favorite day of the week is Tuesday. That's when we're closed to the public, but that's our member day. So all the members come in, they're switching out all their merchandise, they're freshening it up. I get to talk to them about, hey, what are you doing? Are you going to a market? How's business? Oh, you're struggling. Okay, well, let's work together on that.
What can we do to help?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they help each other.
I love this.
Tuesday night is so fun. We're there till around 7 or so. So all of the people who work during the day and need evenings to work,
they can still come by. And replenish.
It is so much fun. At that point of the night, it's mostly ladies and they're just having a great time helping each other, being like, wow, that piece is so great. Or, oh, look at this new thing I made. Oh, I'm having trouble painting. What do you have a tip on this? It's this amazing community atmosphere. And it's just my favorite part of the week is getting to be around these guys. And they're just having a great time. They're loving it.
Yes, absolutely. That's fantastic. And when you mentioned the vendors and now you've got this kind of program, talk about what's in Alley Kat, because it really is, from my experience, full circle. Like there's fashion, there's furniture, so the vendors vary greatly.
Yes. And it didn't start out that way. Our very first members were actually back in the old building. It was actually a mother-daughter team, the Boho Bungalow. So this is Barb, Dawn, and Carrie. And they actually used to own their own shop here in Valpo called Thrifty and Chic.
Okay.
And they had kind of retired from that because they have families, but they still wanted to do this. They still wanted to have the fun of having a shop. And so they had asked, hey, do you have any extra space that maybe we could set up some things? And I was like, sure, I got some extra room. Let's set up a little area. So it's because of them asking that the whole program started.
Cool.
And then more and more people were like, oh, well, could I set up a space? Could I set up a space? So it was because of them and that program that we were able to then purchase the building, because we were able to have a business plan with, well, if we have multiple people paying into the program to help pay the mortgage, we can purchase this
Everything
building.
gets,
because
more realistic. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I did not have the money in 2018 to purchase the building we're in.
Square foot building.
Exactly. So it was because of that, and the amazing people at SCORE were able to help us build a business plan to purchase that building, and the membership program was able to grow. So in terms of what's in there, what started with primarily furniture, upcycling, secondhand, now has grown into, we still have a lot of that downstairs in the secondhand curated decor, but we do have fashion. We have a book section. We have records, which is huge right now.
Yes, it is.
A huge toy area. We're very family friendly. We've got jewelry, and we have soaps and bath and body, and really just anything you can think of. We've got something literally for everyone. I know people say that, but we really do. Not
really,
many people are bored coming in.
It's such a fun, you could just get lost in there for hours looking at everything. It's so fun.
And yet it's not overwhelming.
No,
which has
absolutely
been important.
Because you guys make it so welcoming that you really feel like you could spend time there and like stroll through and take your time. And there's no rush, and like it's open and it's kind. Yeah, it's a great space.
Thank you.
You've done well.
We really tried to design it that way so people you can have a stroller in there and it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Even though unfortunately we have our second story, we don't have an elevator for.
Sure.
But if someone came in and they saw pictures, we try to post a lot of pictures. If they're looking for something, we'll run up the stairs.
You guys
I run up and down.
Yeah,
we'll grab things for people, and people will take their time going upstairs. They're nice big steps, so it's okay. Take your time. But yeah, there's a lot to see, and it's changing every single week.
Great part about it is, you guys are replenishing every week. So that changes and things get different. So there's always new stuff coming in.
Yes.
And because it's these local vendors, it's not big box store branded items. It's really just cool, unique items and always changing, which is so cool.
Absolutely. And even merchandise, for example, we have Zero Fox, which is one of our game area.
Okay.
She really tries to, have some of those popular games that you could find at Target or someplace else.
Yeah.
But she also tries to get in on Kickstarters or other things where, or, what is popular or a similar game to what's popular to be, let's represent also some other little businesses as well, even by bringing them in on wholesale.
That's super smart.
So it's cool because everybody cares so much. And I think that's the big difference is when you have all these people that really care about their own business within the business, they then advertise to different people. So we just have this wealth of customers coming in.
Yeah. Like I said, I found out about you through Tevlin, who had some booth space there. And then I was obsessed. And then it's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, how can you not keep coming back? It's a great spot. Pop in for a gift. Like if you have that person, you're like, I just don't know what to get them. It's like, okay, well then they probably need something more unique. So go here and you'll find something. I don't know what it is, but you're going to find it.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's perfect.
And we have a team that wants to be helpful as well. And sometimes you just need the inspiration of walking around.
Yeah.
A lot of people call, and I'm very proud of this, but they'll say that we're the happy spot. And I do think that comes from, we want you to come in, feel welcome, walk around, have nostalgia, have something that makes you smile. Like I said, we're very family friendly. So you can bring in your kids and not feel like, oh, are they going to break something?
Yeah.
In fact, we have free kids events once a month. We do have the cat scavenger hunt. So anytime your kids come in and they want to look for the cats, there are 7 stuffed cats that are hiding around the downstairs. And if they find them all, they get a prize. Which is great because then mom can shop.
They're focused on finding the cats and everyone's happy.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Cause it's not like, mom, can I get this? Or mom, can you leave?
Or the kids who want to run upstairs because that's where the toy section is.
Yeah.
That
keeps them with you for a couple minutes longer.
Exactly. But that was all part of the design was how do you create a shop that's different. And some of that came from me looking at what frustrates me about other stores that I've been to, the aisles that are really narrow. You're so worried about knocking something over, or, well, I really wouldn't want to bring my kids here, but when am I going to get to go there if I'm not with my kids? So that's part of why we chose to change things and
creating the space that you wanted it to be.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's so, and we'll dive into this piece too, because it's something I wanted to bring up. I just made the announcement, as folks that follow me on social media, that I'll be, that I've started my own cleaning company.
Yes. Yay. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. Yes. And I think the whole premise, or bringing it up this now made sense in my brain, because a lot of people that don't know me that well or know me outside of the life sites is like, you're going to go clean? What? What are you saying? Is this real? Like, people actually thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
And
I did. I was one of those. I thought it was an April Fool's joke.
Yeah. And I think that's the premise was, I have a background that probably most don't know about that isn't cleaning. It's kind of my peace. It's my calm. I like to do it. I've enjoyed it for years. As I get older, I want to step a little bit out of the spotlight. And so this was a great way for me to step out of the spotlight a little bit. Obviously, as that announcement also mentioned, I'll still be the All About the Girls girl. So I'm not going anywhere. You guys still have me as the host of this podcast and of the event every year. I just won't be running the company at Great News every day, because I'm going to run my own company. And Great News is set up in a manner right now that's perfect. We've got the team in place to do this without me. So it's perfect on that end. But that was the whole premise. Was years ago, I knew I was overwhelmed and I needed to delegate something, and I couldn't delegate the cleaning because I couldn't find a company to call me back, to show up on time for a walkthrough. And I was so frustrated that I wanted now go create this thing that is the product I wanted to see. Right. And it sounds like you're very much trying to do the same as kids, no kids, mama, person, shopper, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. You want to create the thing that you find is missing in your community. Yes. And I think that you've absolutely created it here.
Thank you.
So I'm going to take from you and learn everything I can along the way. So hopefully I do the same. But I think that is a really great way to start any journey, is with such a great intention. And I think that probably helped in your success overall, is because you have such a great intention at heart.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Well done.
I absolutely would agree with you. And the best thing has been able to share that with people. I've always said, I've joked a lot that I call myself a bad business owner. And that's because I'm not thinking about profit. I'm not thinking about a lot of that. I think about, okay, well, what's missing in the community? Yes. How can I be helpful? Where are people who are struggling that I can be that helper for? And that, I think, is the heart of Alley Cat so much. And I do think people get that sense when they come in, that we're not profit driven. One of those things, we don't have a staff that's going to really push you into anything.
I've never been pushed into buying anything. You guys will give me any info I need on anything, but you're not like, get that, get 3. Right. Actually 4. Yes. Like, you're just not pushy salespeople. No. It's the same thing. Enjoy your journey here, whatever that looks like. I don't care. Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of where the next phase that I'm really excited about is coming in is, I have this event room in the back that you've been in, because we do the flaunt, the fashion show was through there. And so I'm developing that right now. I'm actually excited. I get to work with some VU students who part of their capstone project is they're helping me with this, which is fun.
This is fun.
Yeah,
great.
They're helping me develop that into kind of more of a lounge area, another place, again, just another community venue where people could do unplugged activities. Yeah. So getting people connecting.
Like actually in person. Yes. And together. It's almost like Alley Cat's little speakeasy back there.
Exactly.
Right?
Kind
it's
of
like
thing.
This cute little
space.
But
family friendly. So
but exactly. Yeah. There's no booze back there.
No. But exactly that kind of one thing that I've noticed from talking to a lot of people is anxiety is so high with people right now. Yes. Which is why creating the shop where just walk around. We're going to play disco music. We're going to, just have light, 80s bops going.
And not take life too seriously.
Yes, that's the shop. And so now I have this opportunity to create something like that in this back room where I'll host the party for you. How much stress, from cleaning, people get so stressed hosting something. There's also post-party anxiety, which
what do I do now? It's all over.
Yeah. I didn't know this was a thing because I'm just a hostess, I guess, who again, I just do things. That's my theater
And you're
background.
probably like, one's done and I'm on to the next.
Yes.
Where you don't have the down as often.
But a lot of people have such anxiety about hosting something. They want to get together with people, but that whole, canceled plans are great. That I understand that mentality, but it's so unfortunate because the connection with people is so important.
It is. And I find myself as I get older having those same feelings sometimes. And I've just been trying to ensure that I continue to ignore them because I know it's good for me. And there's never a time where I'm like, oh, I should stay home. And I don't. And I'm not happy I didn't. I'm always happy I didn't.
Yes.
I'm always excited that I went and did that thing. There's almost never a time where it's like, yeah, should have stayed home like I said, right? It's always like, oh, that was great. I'm really glad I went.
Yes.
And so I try to keep pushing myself out there, but stuff like this that makes it this low entry pressure or low pressure to entry is just like so much easier to just kind of go into. It's easier to keep on your plate and not talk yourself out of.
Right. Or hosting something without the pressure of it's in your own space. So we're going to create it kind of in like a little game room. So it's as if it's your own living room, but you get to rent this space and either just to host your own party, or if you want me to be there, I'll teach the games. You don't have to do a thing.
You can just be a guest.
Exactly.
Almost.
And I'll be the host for you.
I love that.
And it takes that pressure off so you can just enjoy, whether it's family or friends or book club or just a low key bachelorette party, anything like that.
Yeah.
And of course, kid stuff, because I am all about the kids party.
So
absolutely. I'm all about. We've had all kinds of fun kids parties back there. But that's kind of one of the next roles of how else to serve the community. What else can this space be? Because it's a huge, like you mentioned, it's a huge building.
Yeah.
And I have an entire warehouse back there that I'm still working on. What's the next steps for that?
So there's so much, so much you can do. And this sounds like a great kind of next step. Yeah. Especially with where your passions lie, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit, and maybe you don't know this yet. What's a timeline looking like for that? Like, is that going to be a 2026 goal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, the fun thing is because I have, the students doing this capstone project, it's kind of this push to, okay, well, they also need to get this project done for them. And it can be theoretical, but I've told them that, hey, let's just do it.
Let's get it done.
I'm in a really great spot to do it. I've had this goal for a while. I'm passionate about unplugged events, especially getting kids off of screens. That's why we do so many kids activities at the shop. It's a passion of mine. So we're in the process. I'm hoping by May, we're going to have that room transformed. I've already got some furniture pieces picked out and things. And
great.
Yeah. So that's the goal for that portion of it. And we're just going to grow from there. So,
okay. So everybody pay attention. There's probably going to be a little grand opening or some celebrations along the way.
Yes.
So let's keep posted. Posted.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
Okay. That's just so cool. So this is kind of a broad question, but just as you kind of encapsulate all of that for us. Tell me, if your life were a book chapter, what would that current chapter be named?
Wow.
Just because I think it's such a big piece of the whole.
Yes.
It feels like.
Yes. That's so interesting because I've been saying to my team that I'm ready for the next chapter. I'm ready for the next chapter. So first off, it is the next chapter for me. We were talking a little bit earlier before we started the podcast about some of the journey of where I've been with the struggle of after COVID, the recovery time. And I feel like the past 5 years have been a lot of survival and pay off the debt and pay off the debt.
Catch back up and get back to par. Yeah.
And even with successes, then it's, we need a new roof, or, there goes 3 of our AC units that have to be replaced. Like, it's just one thing after another. And I feel like we've finally caught up, which means I think what I would call this chapter is beyond survival mode.
Well said.
I think
that's got to feel good just to say out loud. Because then we're manifesting it as well. We are officially beyond survival mode, everybody.
Survival mode. Because there's so many opportunities and there's so many great people to work with. I have an amazing team that's ready to grow, that's ready to do more. We have the most members we've ever had, and there's still room for a couple more as we get people placed in just the right spots. And our members are growing too. We've got a couple, what we call our sister stores, of people who started with us and then have their own stores now, which is so exciting.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's the growth that I just love to see. And even when some of them have moved on and, they're not members at Alley Cats anymore, it's still so exciting because look at the growth that they've made.
Yeah. And what a great perspective for you to have as the founder owner. It's rare. I think there's probably a lot of founder owners that just get angry.
Yes.
But it sounds like you're so great at seeing both sides. Like, that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And that's sad to see them go, but so proud of them too.
It does take effort.
I bet. Yeah. That's not free. That takes some emotional effort.
Yes, it does. But I think, again, it comes back to the quote, I'm a bad business owner. I'm using little quotes here.
Air quotes.
Because it's not how I think. I do think that's made me kind of a unique business owner, not always the most responsible with money. I will be honest about that, because that's not my motivation. I've never been money motivated. The money has been fun and that's more
as that comes in and as you grow, that's great. Yeah. But just never your main driver.
It wasn't. I didn't start this business as I'm going to make so much money doing this. I started this business because it was fun, because the relationship I was in at the time, we did a lot of things together. And even after we broke up, I continued on with the business part and it's developed from then. That is an interesting transition, though, into another thing that's very different for a female business owner is our partnerships that we have, our families, our relationships and things. I think that's a whole nother chapter in the book for sure.
Well, because I think we're, as women, we are, I think, matriarchal in so many ways. Like, we really do we're the staple or the keystone of so many relationships, families, friend groups, whatever that looks like. We are the main person in a lot of relationships.
Yes.
And that, whether it be caregiver or best friend or partner, it's just, we tend to give and carry a lot of emotional support for all of those relationships. So that back and forth looks very different in all of those as well. If you own a business, that has to have some of your heart too.
Yes. And especially a business where I'm so fortunate. I get to work with my sister. I get to work with my best friend. I get to work with my family members, but that also tangles things.
Yes,
it tangles so much. And sometimes in a wonderful way of, if something goes wrong, that those people are all going to be there for you. But sometimes also in a, life changes kind of way. And that's something I'm navigating right now, again, as this new chapter is emerging.
Absolutely.
I was just talking to Jessica, one of my managers today, who's my best friend. She's been with me for 6 years at the shop now, basically right after 2020, and has really, really helped make the shop what it is now.
That's
She's
great.
Very business minded. Thank goodness. Because I'm creative.
Yes,
gotta
absolutely.
need that. And we were talking this morning about just, there was a time in that survival mode where we would even go out for drinks. It was supposed to be friend time, but we would just be talking business. And there were parts of it that were fun because we were both passionate about it, but also,
and it feels great to have someone like a partner in that passion, right?
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, someone that's excited as I am.
Exactly. But also, it was pretty unhealthy.
Yeah. We got to turn it off sometimes and develop continue to develop our friendship. Like, this relationship still needs to grow as friends, and it can't solely be based on and around work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's the same with my sister. It used to be the two of us were working 7 days a week. And finally, she's not an owner. She's never wanted to be. She's just been, the sister, the manager.
Your right hand to help wherever you need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got to give her days off. As the owner, I can work 7 days a week. Not all the time, but I can handle it, but she shouldn't be. So shifting those things too,
that's
and
good.
Adjusting that. And that happened a couple of years ago.
Good.
But there was a time where the shop was everything.
And it's penetrating every relationship.
Yes.
So then it makes it harder to not be everything.
Yes.
Because then now we're all in it together. So it's all we're going to talk about. And then Thanksgiving becomes about the shop. And then, because all your parents are now a piece and all of that stuff, it becomes consuming.
Yes. And that whole idea of your identity being your business, your identity being your job.
Yeah.
And I think, and no, I can't speak for everybody, but I know that this business for me has been so involved in my relationships, but also my relationships with the men in my life as well.
Yeah.
And, I've dated a couple different people while owning this business. And it's very different. I've dated someone who's a fellow business owner, and we would also talk business all the time. Business.
It's just yours and mine. We're bouncing ideas off of each other, and it still doesn't stop. But it's our individual businesses,
right?
But it's still constantly moving.
Exactly. So, and that was different from somebody who had nothing to do with business. And I felt like I was abandoning them a lot because I was working all the time, and they just want me to relax.
Get to see the other side of that coin as a fellow business owner, to know like it is going to be 7 days a week, and it's going to be a prime kind of piece of my life. And
yeah. And it's been interesting, that dynamic, and what quote works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And how unfair I feel like sometimes to say, I don't want to have to choose, obviously. But I do think there's something about being a female business owner in particular where you feel like you owe everyone everything.
Yes.
And because you are that
women
caregiver.
Feel that way in general. So then as a business owner, you just have more people that you need to give to, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. So it's been interesting navigating that part of it too. And I will tell you, I don't know how women who also have children do it.
I literally say the same thing so much. I know. It's wild.
Jessica has 2 kids, and she is rocking the shop and in their lives, and has an amazing fiance. Like, just all of this. I don't know how they manage it.
Yeah, me too.
Constantly. Because I don't know how.
Nope. It's a whole other level of multitasking I've never seen. And I know, maybe that's why I didn't want kids, is because I just don't think that it was a fit for me. I just don't see myself in that world.
Yeah.
But women are killing it.
Yes. Especially single moms who are also running a business. I don't know how they do it. And I will say there's that whole hustle atmosphere, that whole hustle mentality that was so big for a while. I feel like finally now we're realizing, like, you know what, you can calm the hustle sometimes. That's okay.
Hustle is not respected upon death, right?
Yes.
Like, no one says, well, they were a true hustler at their funeral, right? Like, it's not a thing. And I think it used to be, right? Like that used to be so
the hustle culture.
Awarded. Yeah, exactly. Like
girl bossing.
Yeah.
Which there's
like
nothing
always
wrong.
On used to make so much sense for so many reasons. Even to me as a person. Like, it was always on made sense. When I started with this company 13 years ago, it was just 13 years. We just hit 13 years like over the weekend. Which is not purposeful timing, but fun timing and nonetheless. But it's just like 13 years in, you're like, gosh, that's so intense and always on and all. Man, it's
that whole mentality. And some of it is when we're in our 20s and our 30s. The energy to be, and I'm going to say early 30s because I'm not in my early 30s anymore.
I'm in my 40s, and I agree. Well, and I started with this company in my literally I was 30.
Yeah.
And same thing. I was like, yes, I'm going to go to all the events. Of course I want to go to free wine and chicken. I'm in. And now I'm like, I'll go, but 2 hours max and I'm out. You know what I mean? It's just not the same anymore. And I think that's okay.
And it is
good,
okay.
Honestly, good.
And it is okay.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to remember. And that's as anybody, not just women, but I do think women in particular who we want to do it all. And there's this idea, especially social media, that feels like we have to do it all and have a beautiful house and the children be perfect and
it's not real.
No,
it can't be done.
No, it can't be. I shouldn't preach on it because everyone will tell, like, everyone you talk to will be like, oh yeah, Kat still works too much. But
recognition is the first sign, right?
We don't throw around the word workaholic lightly. I think I've gotten a lot better. There was a time, quite frankly, where workaholic would be the right word because everything went into that. And now I think I have a much better balance.
Good.
But there's still guilt then. And I think all of us know that feeling
of,
am I really sitting and reading this book when I could be searching new vendors or finding out the trends or making a new marketing plan? I just heard from someone
today the sentence, I can just fill in the blank. I can just do it. I can just get that done. I can just, and it's like, or you could not, right? And I think
Right.
that's the struggle we find is we will continue to tell us, I'll just get it.
Yes.
I can just make that happen. I can just call them. I can just do it.
Yes.
Stop saying it.
Right.
So we got to stop. But you're right. The guilt is there.
The guilt is there. And I think that's the next step though, but acknowledging it, like you said, is the first thing.
You're aware of it. And now you can start to take the steps to make it what you want it to be. And if that's what you want, and that's what truly makes your heart happy, and you feel like 60 hours a week working your job is the thing, go for it.
Yes.
But I think when it's based on guilt and having to do all of that is when we want to say, okay, squash that. Let's reestablish boundaries and expectations and how you want to live your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
Like we can do whatever the hell we want, but we have to remember that.
Yes.
And that's the hard part because the guilt is big.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like you are aware and making some changes there.
Yeah.
And how are you, as you navigate this journey, how are you finding ways to either squash the guilt, deal with the guilt, talk about it in therapy? What are you doing?
Yeah. So I love reading. Reading. My mom's an English teacher or retired English teacher. And so I had a love of reading from a very young age.
You'd fit right in at this office. They compete for like books read per month and stuff. It's awesome.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
so
tons.
Reading to me is definitely an escape. But I've had to join book clubs to feel like I'm obligated to read the book to make sure that
keeps you on task. Okay.
Yeah, well, because
it'll make you allow yourself to read.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
We have can I make my relaxing time more productive? That's the joke. And I think I've always had
this in my soul.
Yes. Like, okay, well, I'll relax, but can I do it in a productive way?
Like, well, what can I get done on the couch?
Yes. Yes.
Or what do I feel like doing? Because then it's sort of fun and I can check a box.
Yes.
Yeah.
And isn't that funny too, that we have that mentality? And I know I'm not the only one.
No,
who
that's
does
my
that.
Sunday. I literally go, okay, I can do whatever I want. What can I check off this list?
Yes.
It's so dumb. It's what a ridiculous statement.
So it's like you have to trick your brain a little bit.
That's what I feel like. Yeah.
Trick your brain. So that has been one thing for me is being in book clubs where it's like, well, you have to read it because book clubs come in and you promised that you'd be in this book club. So you better read the book.
It's like making a system that will allow you the space to do what you really want to do.
Yeah. Although it is funny, my boyfriend's taking me on a vacation in June to a beach, and I've never done a beach vacation before.
Okay.
And he's like, you have to relax. And I'm like, what? Relaxing?
You're like, you're making me nervous by telling me that now. I've got an anxiety about you making me relax.
You're saying that as a joke, but quite frankly,
but I see it on you.
Real.
I bet it is.
So a whole week where I'm not doing anything, he's like, well, we'll bring books
and
we'll go on a bike ride. I'm like, oh, okay. Because literally, I have not.
You're nervous about it already, aren't you?
Yeah, I haven't gone on a vacation where it's literally just relaxing since probably before COVID.
Oh, wow.
And even that, where it's supposed to just be chill. That's all it is.
Like we're not going to plan.
Yeah. Yes. Not planning. Like what? What?
This is against everything you know.
I think the one thing I'm allowed to plan is what I'm bringing, like my books and my swimsuit and all of that. But yeah, that's luckily it's not till June, so I have plenty of time to get the anxiety out.
Okay,
about
good.
That.
Yeah,
yes.
you're
plenty
planning
of time
to not care now.
Yes.
I know how this goes, though. I think it's very well stated because I think I see that. Probably not to that extreme yet. I'm a new business owner.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try not to be there. But yeah, I think you're right. And it's something you'll always think about. So I think recognizing it early and just going, okay, I'm going to try to work with this. Like you're not saying no to the vacation. You're saying, okay, I've got some months to figure out how I can enjoy this and actually get to a place where I can relax.
Yes.
And I think probably unfortunate that our lives are such that we are that way. But great that you see it and are working to create that space for yourself.
Yes.
So well done.
Thank you. Yeah. I think I'm also really fortunate that I have a staff and a team that wants me to relax to the point where last week I was sick and I had a cold and they're like, go home. No one wants you here. Go home.
Good.
And I was like, well, I'm taking my computer with me.
And they're like, sure, whatever.
You know,
go
but honestly, that's a big part of it is that I do have a team that cares. I try to also be that way, that if someone's sick, if something doesn't get done, it's okay. we're not saving lives at Alley Cat's
Yeah.
Curiosity Shop, you know.
We say it here too. I'm like, hey guys, we're good news. Like, we're not curing cancer.
Yes.
We're not saving lives. No one's going to die.
Yes.
Everything's going to be okay.
It really
You're
is.
absolutely right.
It
It's
really
a great
is.
reminder to ourselves is
Yes.
that this is your biggest thing in your life because it's your company.
Mhm,
That is true, absolute, and very fair.
Yes.
But it's not the world's biggest
Correct.
thing. And you're right. It's Alley Cats. Like, this is supposed to be a fun thing. Like,
Yes.
let's keep it that way.
Let's keep it fun. How can we make things easier?
Yeah.
Not just for customers and things, but what can we do to make it where it's easier on ourselves? That was a conversation we had in our morning meeting this morning was
Smart.
what are some things that it's going to make it easier on everybody? Because then we'll all have a better time when we come into work. No one's dreading doing things. Because again, it's just retail. You know, at the end of the day, it's just retail. And
it's a great perspective.
And it's a happy place. I mean, I'm so fortunate that at the end of the day, most people who are coming in are just here to have a good time. You know, we don't have customers who are mad because something was broken and needs to be fixed, or, you know, we don't have people coming in a bad day, or if they're having a bad day, they're coming in here because they know it's going to make them happy. And what a wonderful environment to work in. So we got to get rid of anything that's going to create negativity on top of that.
Because you got to keep that space.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And just keep it light, keep it cool, even when there's issues with members or people aren't making sales or something like that. It's the fixing to make things better.
Yeah.
And I like that part. So,
and then hopefully those relationships in your life, whether they be team or your partner or anything, it's the people that are kind of feeding into that journey with you,
Yes.
where they're, you know, on the partner side, that person has to be willing to accept you at workaholic status because there's going to be a fluctuation there.
Yes.
And while it sounds like you're on the proper journey to recognize and create some space and all those things, you're still a business owner.
Yes.
And there's going to be a day where it's a Sunday and you plan to have the day off and something happens and it's not there and you can't do that and you got to go work and you have to be 100% your company. So you need the person that can ride that wave with you, but also say, and now's the time where you get to relax and just remind you of that too. And it sounds like you've got that in your current partner that they're saying, we're taking this vacation. You have 3 months and you get to, so you be ready for it in 4 months. And then, but also saying, I also know that you need the 4 months, right? Like, and I'm going to give that to you and we're going to do this together. And I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah.
And I have supportive family in that same way. And I think it helps that my family, my parents and my sister, they don't have a background in business at all. Sometimes that's been difficult because I've had to kind of say, no, this is how we're going to do things. But also they don't have an expectation of this is how the business should be run. It's not like they started it and I'm the daughter taking on the family business.
Like you said, it's almost the reverse.
It's a reverse. Yeah. I started the business. My sister joined on. And then I think reluctantly at first, my parents were like, both our daughters are going into a business that is kind of uncertain. Okay. But
you should probably be aware and maybe help out.
Yes. I remember though, when I walked them into the building where we currently are, and I told them, I said, I'm going to buy it. And they looked at me and they looked around at this ginormous building, knowing full well that I didn't have the money to buy it. But I said, you know, I've got an SBA loan. We're going to make this happen. And I think that's when it clicked for them that, oh, this is real. This isn't just playing in a warehouse. This isn't just selling things on eBay. This is a real business that's going to grow and be what our daughters do. And that was a fun moment because I think that's when it clicked that, oh, no, this is real. When I got to show my parents that. And it was exciting because I never expected to own this business. I thought I'd be running a theater at this point. You know,
so this is new and different and so interesting probably for them to watch.
Yes. And they've watched the ups and downs. They watched it during COVID. They watched it, you know, when we've had struggles. They've certainly stepped up and helped out, even when it's what we call babysitting the shop, where it's, hey, we're really busy. Could someone come babysit? Meaning they just sit upstairs on our second level and help customers.
Anybody that might need it.
Yes, because we just are short staffed. And they've been so wonderful and so supportive, even in a business they don't understand and can't always help the way that a parent wants to is make it better or have a solution. They've just said, we know you've got it. You know, you're smart. You have the resources. We know you're going to figure this out, even as, I'm on the phone crying in my car because I don't know if it's going to work, or I don't know. And they're like, you got it. You're going to figure it out. We don't have the solutions for you, but you're going to figure it out. And that's, I think, the best support system that I could have.
So that brings up a good question. And one of the questions I always like to ask is, what was a time where you maybe thought about quitting or changing your path or starting over? I know we talked about you're sort of starting over right now, but not leaving the Alley Cats world. So have you thought about quitting like in those times? And what happened? How did you get it back? Like, you're obviously on the other side of it. You're not only reinvesting, in the company itself and helping it grow even more, but you're also taking on this other kind of new space, event space idea. Tell me how that works. How do you get back to somewhere like that when you're crying in your car?
Yes. A couple things. Number one, you need to have your support system and know who your true support system is.
Who can you cry on the phone to?
Yes. And know, and kind of have an idea when you're talking to that person, what kind of advice are they going to give you?
Yes.
I have different people that I will call where I know they're just going to listen and have nothing to say, but they're just going to be like, you got this.
They're going to let you vent and build you back up.
Yes. I have other people where they're my solution people, where I know when I call them, they're going to be like, all right, you can cry, that's fine, but let's figure out.
I'm
let's
the
talk
fixer
this through.
and I'm going to come fix.
Yes. Which I love, because I'm that person
Me too.
for people where I'm like, I'm so sorry, but can I just fix your
one thing
problem?
I can help you with, or here's one piece of advice.
Yes.
I am the same.
I love it. I love helping people so much. So, but I need that too. Sometimes is like, most of the time I can figure it out. I need to talk it through though. I can't just have someone just listen. I need to talk it through. A big instance where was COVID. The crying in my car, that one specifically, I remember sitting in my driveway and I thought we were going to lose the business because we were shutting down. We are not essential by any means, as much as I'd like to say.
I was going to say, some might feel differently, but
this
government
is true,
said.
those people need records.
But
we were, so I really thought, and I thought there's no way. We had a tiny little staff at that time. There were only 3 of us technically on payroll at that time. And there's some options that weren't available to us in terms of the PPE and all of those programs.
Like what you can do and how you can do it, and everything's so limited, and the money, where it's coming from. Because that was so kind of specific to certain businesses or certain, and it's hard to get. And
it's our membership program. So it was also the members help pay the mortgage. But if I can't get them sales, how do I feel about charging them a membership fee?
Exactly.
If we're closed down. So, and that was a big portion of the money coming in, was from the membership fees. So I really thought this could be it. And that's where I can't really remember where it came from, but just this idea of I'm not gonna go out without trying. And there's infomercials out there. So what if I tried going on Facebook Live, creating like a little auction style thing where we say, hey, here's this cool vintage vase. It's from 1934 and it is $5. And we put it on there and it's number 2. And if you want it, right, sold number 2. And it took off because we had this captured audience. And I remember my boyfriend at the time, he's like, I don't really know if that's going to work. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it.
What else can you do?
And I remember it's one of my favorite moments is after we got done with a live show and we had this bell that we would ring when people would say sold this number, and the bell was ringing the entire time because we had this captive audience of people at home with COVID.
So good after the distress.
Yes. And it was working. And I remember he like burst through the door and he was like, that was amazing. I was like, oh, we did it. We made enough money to pay this portion. So let's do some more. And we were able to make everybody enough money to pay for their memberships and make them money.
Great.
And it grew our audience.
Yeah.
People were so excited. And it was fun. It was fun to bid on things and be like, I want that item. And even if you needed it or not. And there were some people who were there shopping just to support support us. They
sure.
needed nothing, but they were excited to be involved. They wanted to make sure that we were going to continue and go on. And it was fun. It was fun. It was a lot of work. Now, this was in the winter. This is just, sorry, this is a
I love this.
Funny
this
little
great.
sidestep. But so we were doing these live shows. And part of the reason it worked is because I was very comfortable being on camera, looking goofy, not really caring, just being like, let's do this show and let's make some jokes.
The rest of the world, come on
exactly.
in. Yeah.
And we're just going to use our phones and figure it out. But we turned the heat way down. So this was in March, obviously, because this went during the shutdown.
Which in NWI, it can be anywhere from 11 to 75 degrees.
So we turned the heat, I think, down to 50 because it's a huge building.
Okay.
And so we were doing these shows, and Elaine and I would be bundled up and really, and then it's like, all right, time for the live show. And a lot of times I'd be showing off fashion for sale. So it's like, take it off
You're
and just
freezing,
pretend,
but you're like, I don't even care because I got
to
pedal this jacket. Darn it. Yeah.
Yes. So when you look back, you can see times where like my cheeks are so red because we're so cold in that building. Because we're like, well, turn off anything you can. We kept the lights completely off except for the show lights and we did everything we could.
It's so smart.
So that's so that was a moment to go back to your question.
Yeah.
Of where did it feel like quitting? And I think that survival mode kicked in at that point. And that's when you know whether you care or not. And for me, it came down to also caring about the members and feeling like I can't let them down. Yeah. That's a dangerous thing though, because where does that come back to, this feeling of I can't let them down, but is this what I really want to be doing?
Great point. Like that should motivate you, but there has to be some boundary set that it's like, okay, but also self-preservation.
Yes.
Like, is it killing me to keep up with everybody else, or upkeep for everybody else is probably more better way to say it.
And that though is the difference where we are now. So finding that boundary, like you said, because I think that's where I am at the chapter where beyond survival. So what does that mean for me now? I'm finally beyond starting the business, making it grow, getting it to this point. And so where am I as the business owner beyond survival?
Yeah, because that means like you have to be beyond survival mode.
Yes.
Like your brain, your body, your well-being have to also be beyond that.
Right. So that's making it easier to find those moments to relax, finding those moments to read a book and not feel guilty about it, or go and just enjoy an evening out with friends, go visit my boyfriend, all of that.
Yeah.
That's making it easier to have less of that guilt because I'm beyond survival mode.
Yeah.
But it's also that question of, okay, but I've been in survival mode for so long. Basically half of the life of this business has been survival mode. So what is it that I really want to do now? And making sure that I'm not taking myself away from the business part that needs me, but also, okay, so I get to choose something that I want to be passionate about again. I want that moment of like, that was awesome, how do I find that again? Because after a long time, it's been over 10 years now since I started this. Where does that fun come in? Where does that passion come in again? Because 10 years is a long time, 13 years here. Where's that next part? What's that next chapter? Yeah. So it's knowing the boundary though, that you'll do it for people. The motivation is there for the people, for your staff, for your team, for me, the members, the clients, the customers, the customers who love it, the kids that will run up the stairs because they're so excited to see what toys we have this week. I love those people. Yeah. But I also have my own life and I don't owe it to them. I have created something and that's wonderful, but I do also get to have my own life. And that's, I think, what this next chapter is for me. Is what's my next part.
I absolutely love that. I think it's going to be wonderful to watch that. Yeah. And tell me, and maybe this is something that you're still sort of navigating as you navigate through all these changes. How have you handled the self-doubt when that shows up? Like, obviously we've got the doubt of maybe that COVID's going to kill my company, but self-doubt being like, you feel like you might not be able to do it. Like, how do you kill that? Because obviously you've proven you can do it. You've done it.
Yes.
You've done it. 10 years. That's 10 years through a pandemic. Like, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
but there's probably still some self-doubt occasionally.
For sure. I'm going to be very honest with you. Sometimes it's crying it out.
Yeah. Yes. Amen.
No,
Amen.
I think there are times where you just have to cry.
Yeah.
You have to, and sometimes
underrated
a release.
emotion. Yeah, the release is something we don't talk about enough. Like,
No.
who cares about the crying? But like, once you're done, you feel like a brand new human sometimes.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's a release. It's a vent. It's having someone safe to say the things that you wouldn't want to say to someone else. That's part of the difficulty of having your best friend and your family. Like, so my best friend, my sister, who work in the business, where I get stressed out, and they're like, "Well, what's happening? Kat, are you done? Are you going to shut down? Are you going to give up?
You're stressing out with me. Don't do that."
And I'm like, no. I need to get this out. I need to get these worries out. I need to express this. And again, that tangle that I talked about earlier, when everyone in your life is also associated, they have either a vested interest or a bias or something like that. Who can you really talk to?
Yeah.
And
90% of my people in my life are either lifers, former lifers, or the owner of the life sites.
Yeah.
And his wife. You're like, crap.
Right. And,
and
when you develop something after so much time or work somewhere so long, then it makes sense that those people are a big part of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. These people have watched me grow up here.
Yeah.
Same with you. Like, they've watched you build this company and then become a part of this community and then build all of on top of that. And they've watched it all.
Right. So there are times where I've really thought, the stress of this is so much. I'm not making enough money for myself to be able to like buy a house or something like that. I'm not bringing in enough money to pay people more when I want to, or I'm not able to just go on vacation willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Things like that where, man, if I just had a 9-to-5, I could just put in my hours. Oh, the money I make is my money. It's not the business money that's reinvested as soon as I get it.
Exactly.
All of those things where, man, if I just, I could just sell it. And that idea, and I'm just gonna be very honest with you. Sometimes there is the thought of like, if I just sold it all, but then I'm like, but then what do I do?
Yeah.
What would I do then?
Yeah.
And then there's the anxiety of like, oh, I don't know what I would do. So until there's something, and I'm not going to call it the grass greener on the other side. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's until there's something you're so passionate about that you can't continue to do this thing and have your passion, then you keep going. You keep going.
Really well
with,
said. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because there will be a time when you're so passionate about something. I really want to do this, like with cleaning, with your business, and trust your gut. I think that is, I know it seems so blasé, or that's not the right word.
Maybe like,
it's cliche. Cliche.
That's exactly what I was. Yes. The word was not there, but I agree.
It seems so cliche. But following your gut is so important. Yeah. And Jessica and I have actually made the agreement that anytime we're working or making a decision, if either of us has any inkling in our gut that it's not a good idea, we don't do it.
Good.
That's literally, it's a rule at the shop. If there is any gut feeling of like even the slightest feeling, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because we've done the opposite. We've been working together for a long time and we always regret it.
Yes. The gut is so real. It's funny. I just did I'm part of the WILD committee. So it's Women in Leadership Development through the Crossroads Chamber out in Maryville, or Crown Point, or Lake County as a whole. And during this group, they asked each of the people on the committee to say something about an individual subject. Mine was decision making. And what I said was, anytime I have to make any decision, I go into it with two things: clarity and confidence. Ooh. Clarity, because I need to understand all of the facts and ensure that I personally, just as the human I am, have removed the emotion from the decision. Ooh. Like, let's take the emotion out of every decision we make, because that's not how we should be making decisions. Make sure I have the facts. And then the confidence needs to be there, because we, especially as women, doubt ourselves way more than we should. And the gut's always there. And it was funny because this guy at this women's event, love you, Matt Schufer, you're my favorite, but you're a pain in my butt too. And he knows that. He was one of the only guys at the event. And he came up to me after the speech, and it's, 1 minute. You got 1 minute to just kind of give your piece. And he's like, did we ever have this conversation? I don't believe in gut. And I said, no, but we should. And so we start talking, and how it kind of comes full circle is that he basically is saying the same things that for me is gut.
Yeah.
Is him are these other 10 things, it's intuition, it's, subconscious signals, signs, and pieces of information that you take in. It's all these things. And I said, right. But how I think of it as a human body is it's some things that are going into your brain, like those subconscious reads that you pick up, these little things. Some go into the heart, and these are the emotions that you see from people and the things that surround you. And I think all of this stuff comes into your body and hits your gut.
Yes.
And this is where you feel it. The gut is where all of that comes to culminate into an emotion that you have that says red flag or green flag, but it's telling you something here. And I think that's exactly it is. The gut is so real.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
Women have an intuition or a gut in my world, I think, that is we are far more aware of, and we just doubt it.
Yes.
More than we should.
And why?
Why? I don't know a guy that doesn't trust their gut.
Yeah.
And I don't know a man that doesn't go full force with it every time, even if they're wildly incorrect.
Yes.
But I think we doubt it for all of those same reasons, is because we care, and the pressure and the doubt and all of this stuff.
And I'll push through.
Yes.
And I think that's it. It's
I'll
push through.
Yeah.
because what are you pushing through? You are pushing through your doubts. You're pushing through that thought of the gut. There's two sides of it. There's a wonderful side of pushing through and being like, you know what? I have these doubts about it, but I'm going to do it because I believe in, maybe I believe in something else. Maybe it's I don't believe in me, but I believe that I want to do this for other people, or whatever motivates you, and you push through. But there's also on the other side of pushing through in a negative way of I'll keep going. I'll burn that candle on both ends. I'll make it happen. I'll make it work. And it's so hard because it's a two-sided coin, because how wonderful that we can make things work sometimes, but we're sacrificing ourselves. And
absolutely.
And it's so hard when you realize that.
You're going to find burnout. You're going to hate yourself. You're going to ruin your spirit if you let that go too far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there ways that help you reset? So if we think about that spiral that we sometimes get into, the negative space that we sometimes get into, what helps you just like either snap out of that, or you go, okay, I'm doing this thing because I know I'm in a negative headspace right now and it's going to help me. What's your advice there? Or what do you do?
For me personally, a lot of it comes down to, okay, I'm in this space right now. Maybe I need to do something for someone else. And to me, I've always been a helper, an assistant, of this or that, like where maybe I need to just help someone else with something, and that's going to help me get in my headspace too. Or I need to be inspired by somebody. Honestly, like when I saw your post yesterday, I think you posted yesterday, I was so excited because it was just this inspiration of like, look, I'm going to go see Jenny tomorrow, and I'm going to get to talk to her about how amazing this new step in her journey is. And I'm in the same place. I'm also stepping into a new journey. So being able to connect with somebody, and ideally somebody who's also stepping up. It's very easy to go into the misery loves company. Yes. And find someone who's just going to sit with you and like, oh yeah, that is hard. Or, you'll figure it out or something, but it's not an inspiration in some way. Yeah. So for me, that comes in a couple different ways. One, I got to release the emotion. So for me, it's crying. Yep. I love it. Great. Whether that's in the shower or I'm going to watch a sad movie. Yeah. Because sometimes you got to pull it out. Right. And then it's okay. Well, what's the next step? Finding inspiration. And for me, inspiration is helping someone else with something that maybe they're struggling with, that I know I can have a check of success. I helped this person and that made me feel good. And maybe that's a little selfish, but it's also helping them. Yeah, absolutely. And it's just like, okay, this will put me kind of in that giving mentality. Yes. That puts me in the space that I want to be in. And I accomplished something, that check mark, and I did something right. Yes. And I showed that I do know how to do something. Yes. And I helped somebody else do it as well, which proofs because I taught them how or helped out. Or two, just finding some other inspiration, whether that's a documentary or a book or some company that I really admire, walking through and being like, oh, look at their displays, or look at even on social media, but trying to be it in a positive light. So not in a comparison of, oh, their store's so great. And, they get
it's like,
all
what can I learn
stuff
from? Not, oh, they're so much better than me.
Yes.
It's got to be the same thing. The right mentality. The right mentality.
And that is where you come in and think, what's going to inspire me today? And sometimes that is scrolling, sometimes they're, as much as no one wants to doom scroll, we all do. And having no shame in that, but finding some sort of inspiration, something that's going to get you off the couch, back into whether it's business or your creative slump or something like that. And a lot of times it's just taking a walk and being in the sunshine.
Oh my gosh. That's huge for me too.
The sun is my number one.
Yeah.
Which is why this time of year is really hard.
Yes, absolutely. Like I am the exact same. Steps, being outside, and sunshine. Those three are just so good for my soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
And drinking water. I don't do it nearly enough.
Hydrate. I know. I'm the same. I'm like, I don't drink hardly at all anymore. I'll still have a drink here or there, but like I didn't drink for a whole year. And then I was like, yeah, that's not very fun anyway. Who cares? But water. I'm still like, okay, I gotta do better on the water. And every time I have enough water, I feel like a good human. I just need to keep going. So that's probably understated.
But isn't it funny how easily we forget?
Yeah. And we're literally made of water.
Right.
And everyone tells us how much better we are with water. And then we do it. And then we see that they're right. And we still struggle.
Because it's a spiral. And then the great thing about a spiral, though, is that you can spiral up.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
If you can spiral down, you can also spiral up. And it's just those little steps, the little ones. Yeah. It's harder to spiral up than spiral down. Yeah. But it's finding inspiration, getting that sunshine, getting water.
So tell me about a good day. So if I could just say, regardless of the job title or the job you're doing of the day, what does a good day look like for you as a human, just as a whole?
Oh, as a human,
not as a business owner.
Oh, I
not
wasn't
as
expecting that.
Just as Kat as a person.
Okay. I'm going to use my birthday as the day, because every year for my birthday, I try to have it be the same.
Okay.
Where I take the day off. I always come and check in at the shop because,
you're never going to not do that.
My friends are there too. Yeah. And they're like, oh, happy birthday.
Yeah.
But I get up and my birthday's in June. So most of the time it's sunny out, which I love. So I go out on my walk. I get up and I have usually a hot chocolate, even in summertime, because I love hot chocolate, or a chai tea.
I love this.
Then I go hiking with my dad. We've been hiking ever since I was very little. We'd go camping together.
Okay.
And so my birthday, we always go on a hike at the dunes, and then have lunch together. And then after that, I'll go out and have just time with my friends that are just, whether we go to a local restaurant or to somebody's house to play board games and just hang out or play Dungeons and Dragons or something, or just some sort of friend get together kind of thing. Because I love being in the woods and being outside and getting the sun on my face, getting to go to local restaurants and shopping local. I always ask for friends and family. So I don't care. I do care what you get me, but just shop local. Get it somewhere local.
Whatever it is and wherever it's from,
yes,
something local.
I will love it all the more for
if
that.
It's only at Walmart, just give me something different.
Exactly.
Like just know me and do something else.
Yes, exactly.
And then it probably gets them a little more creative too, where they're like, oh, I wonder if there's something at Alley Cat that I could get for her.
Yes.
Or like, okay, she obviously knows what's there, but I'm going to go downtown and I'm going to go to Lifestyles or whatever that looks like instead. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Fun.
And so I think, for me, that's a great day, is getting to be outside, getting to be with my family and my friends, and just getting to enjoy time together and real connection with people. Yes, having alone time and reading a book and something can be nice and cozy sometimes, but I think ultimately my favorite moments are when I'm with people and get to connect with them and feeling that energy. That's why I loved theater so much, was getting to feel the audience and live interactions and live reactions to a scene, to something funny, laughing together. Those are definitely my favorite things.
I love that. Yeah. Well said. And then tell me a little bit, and maybe it's reading. I feel like this might be the answer to this question, but what's something that you intentionally make space for repeatedly in your life?
Reading is definitely a top one. Music is
Okay.
another big one.
Another great
So
one. Absolutely.
musical theater and all of that has always been a passion for me. That's another, I realize as you asked that question earlier, what's another way to release for me is singing.
Great.
Even if it's in my car and I have a certain song where I'm going to sing this song, get out my emotions, and then be good.
And do you have like a favorite scream, sing, let my emotions out song? Are you willing to share?
Oh yeah. So there's Confident is on that list.
Great one.
There's a musical called The Wild Party.
Okay.
It's an older musical, but Idina Menzel is in it. Basically, anything Idina Menzel does.
Okay.
She was Elphaba, the original Elphaba on Broadway. We have a very similar vocal range, and she does these great like power ballads and things like that. So anything she does, that's a great one. So Defying Gravity. She was in Wild Party as just this cool, sultry singer, and she's got some great, just some great parts like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So definitely Broadway, big ballads, big just energy in them. Those are my jam for sure.
I understand that. Yeah, This Is Me from Kesha from Greatest Showman.
Yes.
Same.
Yes.
That's like I'll probably cry as I scream, sing, and by the end of it, I'm going to feel really great.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Phantom of the Opera is it's time to cry now. That's my okay, this is my emotional time.
Here's where I'm going to take the time to get it out. Get it out.
Big musical theater person. But that's another one, just singing and dancing in my living room. I think there've been moments even at the shop because that's a big building, where all the lights are off, we're closed, and I'm like, this is my stage now, where you could probably drive by and you might see my silhouette just dancing around the shop in the middle of the night, because it's like, I need to get the energy
so
out.
I completely understand. Yes.
And my other big favorite of like pump up energy is Intergalactic, the Beastie Boys.
Yes.
Which my sister hates it.
Really?
She hates that song so much.
It's just like such a fun like punch dance. Like you could just like not care and like move around.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love that. That's my like get pumped, like, all right, we're gonna do this thing. We've got 4 more hours of work or something.
Like a little Dropkick Murphys for the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or like some super old school, like Blister in the Sun, like the Violent Femmes. Oh, just go ham on
all
it.
of
Yes, absolutely.
All of that. Just that fun energy thing. So I think I forgot the exact question, but
so did I, if I can be honest.
Let's look.
What is it? What is something that you've intentionally made space for in your life? Oh,
yes. Okay. So music, reading, board games, and connecting with friends.
Yep, love that. Okay,
yes.
That's great.
We're big Dungeons and Dragons players at the shop. All of us play Dungeons and Dragons. And I have a character, Miguin, who talks like this, and she's very fabulous.
Oh my God,
But what's great about her, this character I created, because it's hard for me to commit. Dungeons and Dragons is a campaign-based game where you have to commit to meeting frequently enough that you can keep telling the story. And the trouble I have is that it's sometimes hard for me to commit to a group because I might have to miss out because I have a meeting or an event or something. So I created this character, Miguin, who is an influencer. And so she's just all over the place all the time and will just pop up at a campaign.
Oh my God, this makes me so happy.
So she's kind of...
So you're like almost playing to maybe some of what you consider downfalls, or others might consider downfalls, or where you're going to just not be able to be a part, but you're playing into that with your character, which makes a ton of sense.
Yes. And it's fun because she's based on Cher from Clueless.
I love
where she's just goofy. She's an influencer, and she shows up, she kicks butt, and then she leaves.
Yes.
And everyone knows, she just kind of shows up. And luckily I have people I play with who are cool with that. They're like, when you can be here, awesome. When you can't, we'll make it work. Which is also good friends who will accommodate for your life being different.
Yeah. Business owner life is different. Yeah.
So I think those are part of it is having those friendships and connections. It is something I've made sure that I do make time for.
Good.
Because they're my friendships are what keep me going. For sure.
So let's dive into that arena a little bit. Tell me about some women who have either opened doors for you, supported you along the way, been kind of a staple key person in your life. Who are those women?
Yeah. So first person that comes to my mind is my sister. Elena has she has been along for this ride from the very beginning. Even when it was getting up at 5 a.m. to go out to the warehouse to haul furniture out, to basically do a garage sale, and then haul all the furniture back in, going to auction, picking up a truck. I mean, we were really strong back then. And we were
like just handling this stuff.
Oh yeah,
Gosh.
just like she is the Tetris queen. She can fit everything in, and I definitely could not have started this business without her.
That's amazing.
She is always an inspiration to me as well, because she just gets things done. I will sometimes look at, we have this whole room that we need to make into a space.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just be sitting and thinking, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. And I'll get analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Elena just steps in. She just starts, she's like, okay, it's one box at a time. We'll clean it up. We'll organize it. We'll get it done. And she can just categorize like that. And we've balanced each other.
Yeah, I bet. Like you probably help her see the big picture, and she probably helps you see the little task at hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's lovely.
And just always there. I've always been able to trust her completely. She's been there for me. She's been that person I've called. Even
Is she older or younger?
She's younger than I am.
Okay.
Everyone assumes she's older.
Okay.
For whatever reason. But she's also the face you see every time
I was
you
going to
come
say,
to the
if
shop.
you've been into the shop, you've met her.
Yes. Yeah.
She's there most times. If I've ever been there, she's there.
Yes.
Or both of you are there.
Yes.
But yeah.
She is definitely the face when you come into the shop.
Yeah.
She's there. She runs all that day-to-day stuff and is perfectly happy doing it because she doesn't want to run the big umbrella part of the company. So it works out really well. And together we got through COVID. And that was another one. We'd sing show tunes when we were like super cold, working on creating the show and all of that. But she's definitely been a support system that I could not have this business without. And the other one would definitely be Jessica, who then also stepped on. So she stepped on after COVID. She joined us, and she is what turned the business around. She's the one who had much more of a business, money-minded, let's actually create some systems here. It's not just let's have a whole membership program. Yeah, we've got kind of a contract here, but how can we make this better? How can we make systems? How can we make this really a business, not just playtime all the time?
Which is such a great counterpart to the creative mind that you have, is someone to say, okay, love all your cool ideas. Now let me go put that into a practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was so needed because then we had the three of us, Elena, who ran the day-to-day, Jessica, who kind of helped create the systems that made the machine start to work instead of me being the creative, like throwing gears in there all the time. Like, oh, let's try this. Let's try that. And she has always inspired me because she is a mom. And when she was with us, when she first joined us, she was a single mom.
Okay.
And worked so hard, would still go out with me, still a great mom to her kids, and has always been such an inspiration because her brain just works so differently than mine.
Yeah.
In terms of, here's an order, here's a system, here we can multitask. And while I'm doing all this creative stuff, she's putting it all in order and just making it happen. And there were definitely times where we butt heads, but I learned to disagree effectively with her. I think I've worked with other creative people where it's like, oh, well, we're just going to go in a huff over here. But with her, she helped me vocalize, okay, why are we having a difference of opinion? Let's talk it out. Let's not just get dramatic and go off into a corner or whatever, or be in a huff and then just get over it. Let's talk it out. Yeah. Let's figure it out and let's work together. Yeah. And I've learned so much from her from that. And it's funny because she would deny all of this. She'd be like, oh my gosh, you haven't learned anything from me. I'm like, no. So much, even that part of it.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
And to be able to have kind of that partner or friend that allows the real back and forth, right? Like not every friendship is built for the ups and downs, right? And some friendships can't handle a down.
They can't.
And they definitely can't handle repeated downs of, oh, we disagree on that. Let's go actually have the conversation. That's much more like either business partner or family-based communication, I think, where, business partner, you can always keep it more business-based. So it's easier to have those conversations, or family have to love you anyway, or at least they say so. Right. So they're more willing to have those conversations. That's a good friend.
Huge.
That can work with you and have the tough conversations and not just, walk away in the
Yeah.
sunset. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So those two really within the business. But somebody who really was kind of a mentor to me before the business really took off was actually Renee at Lifestyles, who used to own
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And Renee, I worked at Lifestyles before Alley Cats became a thing.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah. So I worked with her, and she's such an amazing example of a great business owner who cares about the company, is passionate about it, but also really cares about her employees, wants to be a part of their lives, and getting to work with her and watch how she ran her business. And also that if she had a disagreement with someone, it's like, okay, we're going to address it and now we're good. We're fine.
Yeah.
That kind of mentality, again, instead of holding on to resentment
it's
or
not
anything.
like the mean girl where we're going to come after you repeatedly and make you cry.
Yeah.
It's not overly harsh business owner. It's really just the happy, like, let's communicate, like same thing, real human.
Yeah. And she was really a big part of the push to do Alley Cat deals at the time. It was Alley Cat deals. Because there was a time where, so I was working full-time for her and running the business, and I was kind of doing both. And there was a day where I showed up late because I just hadn't written the schedule down. And she's like, okay, well, that's not good, but all right. We talked it over. It's gonna be fine. And then it happened again, where I hadn't written the schedule down. I showed up late. I was like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, come into my office. We need to talk. And she said, Kat, I know you're growing something here, and I want you to put your focus there. I want you to go do your business, put your full effort into it. If it doesn't work out, come back. I would love to have you back. You could be a manager, anything like that, but you clearly need to focus on one or the other. And I want you to go do that.
Wow.
And
that's big.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. And I don't know if I would have taken that leap at that point had I not felt like she's like, yeah, go do it. And I did. And then that's kind of where everything grew from. And I still worked with her, and she was so wonderful and supportive. And actually, even during COVID, we did a live show for Lifestyles where she brought, because she didn't know how to do the live shows or anything.
Yeah. You had that down, but she didn't know that yet.
So we brought her products over and we did a live show with her stuff. And she was
very
like, oh my gosh, you made us $1,000 in a day. And,
great.
From doing these live shows. So it really was a great friendship, and she's moved now.
I was going to say, so did she sell that?
She did. She sold it to a family member. So
again, I was going to say, it's still running just the same.
Exactly.
I also shop there because the same thing. I love local.
For sure.
That's great.
Another wonderful example of her saying, yeah, my life is changing. I'm going to sell this. And another wonderful inspiration of a good female business owner who's like, okay, we're going to keep it going. Here's how we're going to change it. But I'm going to take control of my life because I want to be with my grandkids. I want to live where they are. Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So I think those are three women who've definitely had a huge impact on this business, both as in partners with it and as a mentor and inspiration for me, for sure.
Well said.
Yeah.
And as you I love that you've shared kind of those next steps and what you're looking forward to. Mm-hmm. And if you think about what you're going to be working on and what you've done already, what impact do you hope that your work or your life kind of leaves behind?
Yeah.
What's that goal look like for you?
There was a store here in Valpo called The Book Bag.
Okay.
And it was over where Walgreens is now. There used to be kind of a little strip mall area over there.
On Calumet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was my favorite store as a kid. I went in there, and because my mom was an English teacher, so of course, like getting books was a big deal.
Yeah.
And they had a kid section. There was always cool things to look at, and I would always get to buy a new book, and it was so exciting. And I loved that store. And to now feel like I have a store that kids are so excited to go to.
Yes.
Where kids are going to remember going to Alley Cats and getting to do a scavenger hunt and getting to do kids' days.
Remember when you used to go find the cats?
Yes.
Like, talking about that when they're grown.
Exactly. And thinking, oh, there was this cool store, and you'd go and you'd run upstairs and there'd be toys up there, and there'd be a giraffe with a hat on, silly things like that. Creating those memories for these families.
Like in your own unique space, in your own unique way. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
And then, so there's that side of it, but then there's also the idea of having a business that's helping other businesses grow.
Yeah.
This whole idea of the shop of shops, I've looked and there aren't a whole lot of other programs where it's not just a membership program where it's consulting or things like that, but it's also full on practice. Like, here's your store.
Yeah, I know some that do this side and some folks that do this side, but I haven't seen one that can offer both.
Yes.
Like we see the kind of little co-op spaces throughout North. They're still pretty rare.
Yeah.
But I know of kind of one in each county sort of thing. And then in the other side, you think of like the collective out in the poor or a chamber group or things like that. But it's rare to have that group of support and the space in which to grow.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
It's absolutely awesome.
And that's, I think the next part is how do we grow that more? How do we connect more of the community? And then fun projects like unplugged events and unplugged, the little passion projects that now that I'm past that survival mode, I can go into the things that I'm really passionate about because I know I have a team that's got the store. We've got amazing vendors. We've got people committed. Even when I haven't done the best advertising for an event, it's still a full event. People are there. Absolutely. They're excited.
I've never seen an unwell attended event.
So I think that's the next step there and feeling confident in that. And I loved what you said about decision making, having the clarity and the confidence, because I think that's that step now of what's that next direction? Okay, I'm going to put it in that context of what's next.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's what I want to leave. I want people to feel good about that they get to shop local when they're with us, that the products, the inventory, the things that we bring in are unique or different or socially conscious, things like that.
And you can feel memories for all those people. And
exactly.
I love that because you're right. There's a couple things, places probably that I remember going as a kid that I'm like, I loved shopping there.
Yes.
I loved the bookstore at school or whatever that was. Right. And I think it's cool that you really are trying to offer that same thing for any age. Yes. That's like, hey, you're going to remember me later and being in my space. And that's what I want.
Yes. And hopefully inspire those people too. One of the shops within the shop is the Book Nook, and that one's mine because I love, book buying and getting all of that. And so I do all the secondhand books at the shop and I love that part. And I think that comes back to, I was inspired by this cool little store as a kid.
Yes.
And I certainly hope, because we're going to need that. We're going to need kids that are inspired to do things and to be local and not just be on your phones. I think that's a big part of why I want this to continue is how do we get more people touching and interacting, not just with the items in the store, but also with each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that's the best. It's one of my favorite things is like when I go there, I often see people I know.
Yeah.
Right. Like
right.
Debbie's there in her booth, just dropping some stuff off, or they're there also shopping.
Yeah.
Or it's just the regulars in the store, or it's, Susan Schwared coming in to see what's new this week.
Yes.
Or exactly. That's
Mama
fun.
Koash.
And I love her. I love all of them. They're so great. The Schwareds are like my favorite humans. So tell me, as most people know, 2025 is all about the girls theme was Dear Me, Advice to a Younger You. If you could tell your younger self one thing, what would you tell her?
Ooh,
I know it's a very loaded question.
It is, but it's a great one. I think the number one thing would be, what do you want? And the reason I say that is I think part of the reason some things have taken longer to develop than they could have is because I've thought so much about, well, what do other people want? What are their expectations? Who am I disappointing? Who am I not pleasing enough?
Yeah, living up to, their expectations.
Right. And that's, family, that's friends, that's relationships. And so much of this business was built on other people's expectations or worried about, well, what will they think? And when I think about the best parts of the shop, it's clear what I'm passionate about. It's clear where the work has gone, because those are things that I care about, that my team who's invested in the shop, what they care about. those have been the best parts.
Yeah.
And if I could go back and say, don't worry about dad's one comment that made you doubt things for like a month. You know,
don't read into everything.
You know, don't worry about that comment. Don't worry that you have all these members who all have different opinions on where it should go. You know where it's going. Your team is going to focus in. Don't overthink that this display needs to be perfect. Oh my gosh. Don't.
Please don't.
You know, spend your money a little differently. It's not about the display, it's about the people.
Absolutely.
It's about that. And I think if I could go back, that'd be the number one thing is, what do you want to do with this? Find the people who share that vision, find them earlier. Don't listen to the people who don't share the vision or just have their own idea of what this should be, because it's not theirs, and it's okay. They're allowed to have their own business.
Yeah.
That's what the whole business is about.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is all about exactly that.
Yes. So I think it's, don't doubt yourself, and what is it that you want to do with this, and go for that.
Perfect.
It would streamline this whole thing a lot more.
Yeah. We could just kill some of the doubt.
You know,
immensely.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Absolutely. Yeah. And what do you hope women listening today take away from your story?
I think it goes along with that same thing. It's about, don't doubt yourself. Allow yourself, though, the release. If you're going to have doubts, if you're going to have these moments where you're questioning things in your life, because it's not just about business. I think all of us have these moments where it's like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not business. It's the whole picture of the everyday of what you're doing as a whole. If you're having kids, if you're not having kids, if you're getting married, if you're not getting married, if you're dating someone, if you're not, like literally we could question every second of our day.
Everything.
If we got down to it.
So number one, let's normalize that.
Yeah.
Let's normalize that as women, as friends, as support systems, as mentors. Let's normalize. None of us really know what we're doing.
Yep. It's all made up.
We really don't. Social media, all of that is, let's be inspired by it. Let's not compare ourselves to it.
Yeah. Great point.
And let's let some of that self-doubt go. Let's release that. Let's give ourselves permission to make mistakes, to figure things out. It's the Mrs. Frizzle way. I would love to be Mrs. Frizzle. She's an idol of mine.
I was just called Mrs. Frizzle at a recent staff meeting.
Love that.
They're like, you're kind of like Mrs. Frizzle. And I was like, spot on.
Yes.
Spot on.
What a compliment.
I know. I don't have
it.
the hair, and I wish I did.
Right.
But it's still, yes. I was like, you're not wrong. I love it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think having that, it's okay to be messy. It's okay to feel that way. But let it go.
Yeah.
And then find yourself with the people who are going to support you in that, and keep moving on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfectly said.
Thank you.
Okay. So now we are ready for quick response questions. Are you ready for this?
Oh boy. All right.
So 5 seconds to answer, you get this really annoying buzzer.
Okay.
All right. First up, what is your go-to hype song when you need to feel unstoppable? We sort of talked about this.
Yeah. Intergalactic.
Love it. Beastie Boys all the way.
Beastie Boys.
What's a food that you'll never get tired of?
Watermelon.
Interesting answer.
Oh.
Salt or no salt?
No salt.
Okay.
I'll have salt, but overall,
No salt.
No salt needed.
Okay.
I'll phrase it
Love
that
it
way. No
anyway.
salt needed.
Yeah. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
I love that. If you had a personal assistant for one task in your life, what would you delegate instantly?
Budgeting.
I love it. Hey, that's not too hard to find, I feel like,
I
right?
know,
Like you
right?
can find someone there.
Yeah, but you got to trust. You got to trust. And
They get to know all your knowledge.
you know, it's not just that though. I don't want someone to be the boss of me with the budget. I'll be honest, because sometimes
absolutely.
I'm like, I want to spend $100 extra on books today, or
like I'm doing what I want.
You know,
right?
Yes, I think that's
it's like a
part of
budget
it.
with a weary day fund or something.
Right. A budget that's a best friend that's like, girl, treat yourself. You know, that's what I want.
I love that. Yes. Yeah. The right type of budgeter.
Yes.
Last show you binge watched in one weekend.
Ooh, Bridgerton.
Okay.
Thursday. I guess not on this podcast.
Yeah. We're in the podcast time machine.
Yes.
But it's coming out with a new season.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I got up extra early because I had to watch it all before work. So that wasn't in a weekend. That was like 4 straight hours. And then on Thursday, I'll be doing the same thing.
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
then Stranger Things before that.
Okay.
Oh,
That's another really good one.
Yes.
What's a hobby you'd love to be amazing at, but refuse to practice?
Ooh, sword play.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
Like LARP style?
Or just straight on,
Just
here's
real,
a sword. Like
what can you do with
I'm
this
a
without chopping
Valkyrie.
off anything?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All of that, just really that, or like parkour or something.
Okay, cool.
Just
Another
like,
good one.
Epic.
Like, let me just learn how to wield this sword.
Right. And be super strong, jumping off buildings, like a superhero.
I love that.
And I don't even go to the gym. I walk.
Hey, okay. I like
Right?
There's a
We
big
can
goals,
start
big
somewhere.
goals. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
First job you ever had?
Changing locks for my dad at Hobart Middle School.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
This is
So
a
that was-
cool, interesting one.
So this was back in the day where you had to actually physically remove the locks. It wasn't
Like
just
from a
key.
locker.
Yes, from a locker. And I had to record
Oh
on
yeah,
a
because they were
computer.
built in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had to take them off. I had to record which one it was moving from and which one it was moving to.
Oh, because
Yes.
the combination is set, but you
Yes.
don't want the combination to be in the same locker.
Exactly.
So you would switch
So you
them.
had to switch them down.
Interesting.
Yes. And I had a little cart and I do my little thing and I could play my music and yeah,
Oh, I love this.
Yes,
That's a
so
cool job.
that was my job is was probably maybe 11 or 12
Yeah.
was middle school.
Yeah.
So, cause
So-
all it was typing.
Yeah.
And they trusted me and I guess, and I did do it well. I think there were only 2 locks out of 700 or
Several
something
hundred. Yeah, for sure.
that were messed up. So
Good
not
job.
bad. Not
yeah.
bad.
What's a quote or phrase that you use way too often?
I say all the time. But a quote or phrase, make it work.
Make it
But
work.
from Project Runway.
Okay. Make it work.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And plenty of room, which is from Alice in Wonderland. My sister and I, we will quote Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yes.
Right and
Much
left.
muchier. I always say
Yes.
much muchier.
Yes, and it was the best butter. Why? I don't know. Half the time it comes out of
Sometimes
nowhere.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I can't not say "whoa whiskey" whenever
Right.
anyone says whiskey from Hot Rod. I just have to say that.
Yes, but plenty of room has always been one because we're always trying to make space for new things, new people, new everything, and it's there's plenty of room, plenty of room. And,
I love it.
yeah.
What is your I don't care if it's basic, I love it item or trend?
Ooh, probably iced chais. I know it's probably iced coffee is more, but for me it's a chai.
Yeah.
But I get them from Fluid, which around here Fluid is very trendy.
I love it.
But it's also local and
Yes.
awesome.
And if you've not been to Fluid and you are local, please find a local
My
Fluid.
gosh.
There's like 5 locations.
Yes.
So if you're in northern Indiana, you can find one.
Yes.
They're fantastic.
Yeah. So I would call that like Valpo trendy.
Yeah.
But
Shout out Allison. She's
yes.
the owner of Fluid. We should shout her out. Also, I've asked her to be a part. She's not ready for
yeah.
it. As soon as she's ready, give
when
me
she's
a
ready,
call, Allison.
she's amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, she
Yes.
is. That's great.
Yeah, but I think the iced coffee or iced chai trend.
Yeah,
for
fair.
sure. Yeah.
Dream dinner guest, living or dead, who is it?
Annie Oakley.
Interesting.
Annie-
Tell me more.
Oh, Annie Oakley, which if you don't know who she is, she's a Western sharpshooter.
Yes.
From the 1800s, and I was obsessed with her as a kid. I
Interesting.
had a picture of her on my wall.
This is a cool
I
one.
I thought she was the coolest. And then of course there's also a musical
Sure.
with Annie
Mhm.
Oakley where it's the anything you can do, I can do better,
Mm.
which connects with
Oh,
my competitive heart
I feel it.
of, oh, you think I can't do it? Yes, I can.
And I'm going to do it 7 more times just to show you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What great motivation.
Yes.
But just this idea that she could do anything a man could do,
Yes.
but even better.
Yes.
I was obsessed with her as a kid. And my mom did definitely introduce me to a lot of strong female characters in books and novels and things at a young age. But Annie Oakley stuck with me. And I think it'd be
that's so good.
fascinating to talk to her about what struggles did you have as a woman?
Yeah.
In
In sharpshooting.
yes,
Like, how does that even work? In the, what, she's 1920s?
yeah, I think, or 18, I don't know.
Even later. Okay. Yeah.
Little Cat is ashamed that I don't have these facts.
No,
right
yeah.
now,
I
but yeah,
asked you the
You
years
know?
of Annie Oakley off
Right,
the top of your head.
right. But yeah, that era of the Western
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great one.
Thank you.
Text, call, or voice note.
Text.
What app do you open more than you'd like to admit?
Ugh.
She's like, I'm actually working on this.
Right. Probably Probably Facebook.
Okay.
Because there's Facebook for business.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a Facebook, honestly, if I didn't have the business. But I do open my personal one and then just start the scroll.
Oh my gosh. I'll open it for a reason and then I
Yeah.
scroll and then I forget the reason and then I go back to what I was doing and I'm like,
Yes.
oh yeah. And then I have to go back. It's a
And
cycle.
and Facebook is okay. It's as soon as you start the reels.
Oh
and
my
then,
gosh. And then I'm stuck for
yes.
an hour.
And my algorithm is amazing because it'll show me all of these BBC comedy clips and things,
It's
which
exactly
I love.
what you want to see.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no, I'm addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am addicted for sure.
Yeah. I understand.
So mine would be Facebook, pretty basic, but
No, I think
stuff.
I'd probably answer the same.
Yeah.
Or Amazon.
Mm,
One of the two.
yeah.
This is the last one. What is one word you hope people use to describe you 20 years from now?
Quirky.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
I would say the exact. I completely agree. Because you're so unique. And it's not, sometimes I think we say quirky for these people that are just like so out, so different from maybe what we see day to day. I think you're quirky in like the brightest, happiest way because you're happy and you're bright. And nowadays that is different from the norm.
Yes.
And I think that is what you bring to people. And I think that's great. Whether it's because they come to your store, because they get to know you or they talk to you, whatever it is, I think you bring happiness.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I'm fortunate that I've found this balance between creative people and business people.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this even back in college because I was in theater and business.
Okay.
So theater classes, I was just so analytical and good and creative and all of that, but so still business minded. And in the business classes, I was on the much more creative side of things. So finding people who can balance that, but also I can see both sides.
Yeah.
Where I can work with someone really creative and be like, all right, well, we got to hone this in.
Yeah.
We got to focus a little bit. You've worked with creative people.
Yes.
We love them, but we got to hone them in.
Yeah.
And then there's more business oriented people where it's like, all right, we're going to pull some creativity out of you. We're going to pull it out because you've got it too. And sometimes I think that's what I really like is that I'm able to find that balance between these two worlds.
I feel like you're very much similar to me. I feel in the middle of those.
Yes.
And I feel like you are too.
Yes.
Like you're very much a very creative person, but you can handle the business side and maybe you don't love it as much, but you can definitely dive into that world and be present and be aware and be knowledgeable. And I think that's rare.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually like you're creative or your business. And I think you're very much in the middle.
Yeah.
And maybe heavier on the creative side, but you're very much in the middle. And that's great.
Thank you.
It's good to be well-rounded.
Yeah. I'm so passionate about other people's businesses though. It's one of my favorite things. And even there's a while that I was online dating and some of the fun was just talking to people about like, okay, so what do you do? Oh, what's the business you work for? How does that work? What's the hierarchy?
Just learning about it.
Just, half the time I was like, well, this date isn't going anywhere, but at least I'm learning something.
Yeah.
Because, productive, relaxing time, right? Right.
As previously mentioned,
yes,
it's a thing that it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But we make it a thing.
Yeah. But that passion of knowing about those things, because the creative side, I don't always find myself to be an artist, but I have creativity in the idea formatting.
Absolutely.
And then I work with the people who can do it. And I can help them with the organizational part of it.
Yep. And you can kind of see how it could be a business because you have that mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything we didn't touch on that you want to bring up today?
I think what I'd want to talk about in general just is how fortunate we are to be in the Valparaiso community and in Northwest Indiana. I know there's a lot of different places where the shop could have started that we wouldn't have the support of the community. And definitely we saw that during COVID, but now we're seeing it too in that people are bringing other people to the shop. And it's so fun because we have this phrase that we say, oh, we'll let you be tour guide then. Because we'll see a regular come in and they'll be like, oh, we brought our friends and we're like, all right, well, we'll let you be the tour guide. And it's fun because people do want to show it off.
And then it becomes a piece of them.
Yes.
And then it's not even a piece of you, it's a piece of them. And that's going to spread faster.
Yes. And it is such a joy to see that people feel like, I'm going to show you Alley Cats.
Yeah, it's like
the secret. Yes.
Yeah.
So the big thing is we know it's some people's secret place, but we don't want it to be secret, guys. We want you to know. Bring your friends. Come on in. Say hi. We're going to be everybody's happy place. We're very welcoming to everybody. And it's such a joy to see people discover us and be like, wow, what a cool place. or those people who want to be a part of it, which is exciting. And I think that's the next part too, is the growth of, we do have a flea market coming up where you get to be a pop-up vendor outside in our parking lot. That's in May. We have more events coming. Again, hopefully this summer, more unplugged events are going to be popping up at the shop. So that's an exciting thing. But the number one thing is, guys, come in, be a part of it. Don't just stalk us on Facebook and Instagram, like actually come in and be a part of it, because it's so cool to be able to be there and touch things and the tangible aspect of
it really
shopping.
is magic, and it's creative, and the people there are creative.
Yes.
And it just puts you in a great mood, and like, same thing. Yeah. You can just go there. You don't even spend a dime. Just go and like check it out and get to know the people.
And no one's going to give you a hard time for not spending money. We would like you to, but,
and eventually you're going to anyway.
And you are
fall in love.
It is a dangerous place for that. I'll warn you. Especially the book section. I'm guilty of that myself. So, but it's good. It's a lot of fun. And I just hope more people can discover it and become a part of it and really embrace it as part of the community as we grow.
Perfectly put, my friend. How do they connect with Alley Cats online? Where are you guys at? Facebook, Instagram?
We have our Facebook and Instagram. It is all Alley Cats Curiosity Shop.
Got it.
We have a website as well if you want to look at our calendar of events, if you want to learn about our membership program, if you're interested in joining us or just learning about it. That's all on our website, alleycatshop.com. And we are also just here in Valpo. We're open every Wednesday through Sunday. Monday and Tuesday we're closed. You'll see cars, but that's the members changing things out. So just be excited about that. We're open every Wednesday through Sunday, so you can come and see us in person as well.
Awesome. I love it. Well, you guys heard it here first. Get over to Alley Cats, meet Kat herself, be a member if that's something that fits your business. And of course, come back next month for another episode. Also, as this comes out, we'll be launching our annual event. So June 25th, 2026, get your tickets for the annual All About the Girls event right here in downtown Valparaiso. And we'll see you next month, guys. Take care. Thanks.